Are you feeling buried under a mountain of debt, wondering if you'll ever break free? I've been there, and trust me, it's overwhelming. But after trying dozens of methods, I found 5 powerful tricks that actually worked. In this video, I'll share exactly how I paid off my debt faster than I ever thought possible. No fluff, just real results. Let's dive in and get you on the road to financial freedom. Today we will talk about drowning in debt. These 5 tricks help me pay it off fast. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Hitting rock bottom. My debt wake-up call. Debt didn't sneak up on me, it slammed me. Credit cards, student loans, personal loans, and a car payment I could barely afford. It wasn't one big purchase, it was death by 1,000 swipes. I was juggling over $42,000 in total debt. Every month I made minimum payments, but my balances barely moved. The interest felt like a prison I couldn't escape. The breaking point came when my credit card was declined for groceries. That humiliating moment pushed me to confront the harsh truth. I was financially drowning. I realized that if I didn't change something fast, I'd be stuck in this cycle for the rest of my life. That night I sat down with my laptop and began a journey that changed everything. I researched, and finally tested strategies that, while difficult at first, helped me pay off my debt much faster than I expected. 2. Trick number 1. I stopped budgeting the traditional way and started using zero-based budgeting. I tried budgeting before. I'd write down my income and expenses, but it never worked. I didn't stick to it, and it never felt real. That changed when I discovered zero-based budgeting, a system where every dollar is given a job. At the start each month, I assigned my income down to the last cent. Savings, debt payments, groceries, fun money, everything had a category. If I earned $3,500 in a month, I made sure that $3,500 was fully allocated. The beauty of this method was it made me hyper-aware of where my money was going. Suddenly, there was no room for mindless spending. I used tools like YNAB, You Need a Budget, and Every Dollar to track every transaction. It was tedious at first, but it gave me total control. The real power of zero-based budgeting is psychological. It forces you to prioritize your financial goals above your impulses. 3. Trick number 2. I embraced the debt avalanche method and adjusted when needed. There are 2 main strategies to pay off debt: the snowball method and the avalanche method. The snowball focuses on paying off the smallest debts first for quick wins, while the avalanche targets the highest interest debts first to save money over time. I chose the avalanche method because my highest interest credit card had a 27% APR. That one card was costing me over $200 a month just in interest. I listed all my debts, organized them by interest rate, and started hammering the most expensive one while paying the minimum on the rest. Each time I knocked out a high-interest debt, I rolled that payment into the next target. However, when I hit a motivation slump halfway through, I temporarily switched to the snowball method to gain momentum. Flexibility is key. The best method is the one you can stick to consistently. 4. Trick number 3. I created a side hustle debt fund that brought in over $1,000/month. Cutting expenses helped, but I knew I'd never get out of debt fast without increasing my income. That's when I created what I called my side hustle debt fund. I dedicated every dollar earned from side gigs exclusively to debt repayment. I started freelancing online through platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer.com, offering writing and virtual assistant services. I also delivered food through DoorDash and Uber Eats during evenings and weekends. In a good month, I made an extra $1,200, and I threw every cent of it at my highest interest debts. It wasn't easy. I was working 12 to 14-hour days sometimes. But knowing that every shift was shaving weeks, even months, off my repayment plan made it worth it. Side income was the game changer. It accelerated my payoff plan by nearly 2 years. 5. Trick number 4. I negotiated everything: interest rates, bills, and even my rent. Most people don't realize that almost every monthly expense is negotiable. I started calling my credit card companies and asking for lower interest rates. I was surprised how often they said yes, especially if I had a history of on-time payments. I'd also negotiated my cell phone plan, cutting it in half by switching to a lower-cost carrier. I called my internet provider, explained I was considering cancellation, and was offered a 12-month promotion to stay. One of the boldest moves. I even negotiated my rent. When my lease was up, I asked for a discount in exchange for a longer lease term, and a few months paid up front. I ended up saving $150/month. The key is to always be polite, persistent, and prepared. I kept a script handy and took notes during every call. These small victories added up, creating hundreds in monthly breathing room. 6. Trick number 5. I practiced no-spend challenges to build willpower and save big. Spending had become second nature, especially emotional spending. I used to buy coffee when I felt stressed, shop online when I was bored, or order takeout just because it was convenient. To reset my habits, I started doing no-spend challenges. I began with a simple rule: no spending on anything non-essential for 30 days. That meant no new clothes, no takeout, no entertainment unless it was free. I meal prepped, brewed my own coffee, and found free things to do on weekends. It was surprisingly hard, but also incredibly eye-opening. The money I saved went straight to debt. Even more important, I learned to distinguish wants from needs, and that helped me make smarter decisions long after the challenge ended. Over time, I did several no-spend weeks and weekends throughout the year, saving thousands in total. 7. Staying motivated. How I tracked progress and celebrated milestones. Debt repayment can be grueling and demoralizing if you don't track your progress. I created a visual debt tracker, a printable coloring chart with each block representing $500 of debt. Every time I made a payment, I colored a block. I also used spreadsheets and apps to monitor how my debt total was shrinking. Watching the numbers go down was addictive. To keep morale high, I built in mini rewards at each milestone. When I paid off my first credit card, I treated myself to a $10 movie night at home. When I crossed the $20,000 mark, I splurged on a used bike I'd wanted for months. These small celebrations kept me motivated without derailing my progress. Accountability helped too. I shared my journey on social media and in a debt support group on Reddit. Knowing others were watching kept me consistent and inspired. 8. The aftermath. How paying off my debt changed everything. It took 19 months of discipline, hustle, and sacrifice. But I did it. I paid off every dollar of my $42,000 debt. The moment I made that final payment, I felt an emotional release. I can't fully describe: relief, pride, and freedom all at once. My credit score jumped over 120 points. I started saving for emergencies, investing, and planning for the future. Things that once felt out of reach. But beyond the numbers, the biggest change was my mindset. I now view money as a tool, not a source of stress. I learned how to live below my means, make intentional choices, and prioritize long-term goals over short-term comforts. If you're drowning in debt, know this: it's not forever. With the right strategies and a lot of grit, you can climb out. And when you do, the peace of mind is absolutely worth it. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.